Welcome back. #1 Cochran Sports Showdown right here on KDKA-TV. And earlier this week, the PM team, Andrew Fillipponi and Chris Muller, had Mark Cuban on as a special guest. And, man, he was very confident. Quote, "More than hopeful, I'm confident sports will return." Here's part of that conversation.
My attitude always is it's not about if the glass is half empty or half full. It's who's pouring the water.
I like that.
In this particular case, it's the scientist pouring the water. And so I'm not coming to any conclusions. All I know from all the science and everything that I'm reading, just like anybody else can read, that I think we're making enough advances that several of them will come through so that we can start planning what a comeback would look like. And if things really go our way, you know, it's not inconceivable to me, and this is me being hopeful, not being scientific, that we could potentially play games early June.
All right, Andrew, you heard him say that. You brought that out of him. Do you agree with him? Do you think it's that optimistic that we can get back to business in June?
Sports other than the ones like golf and basketball, where in golf's case you have social distancing that can take place because of the sport itself as an individual sport, the course layout. In basketball, it's fewer numbers, right, Bob? So the average NBA team, you're an NBA diehard, you know this.
Yes.
What, each team has 12 guys on a bench at most? I mean, it's easy from a testing standpoint to get a basketball team in one place, smaller numbers. With hockey, we're talking about rosters that 23, 25, football's in the 50s, college football close to 100. Smaller numbers, golf and basketball, yeah, I think we got a shot in June.
Yeah, I definitely think we'll see golf and basketball back first. And golf has events still scheduled in the end of May. Likely those are going to be pushed back, but they still have events scheduled. I hope that Mark Cuban is right. You would think he knows more than us, right? He's in on more conversations with people, the right people, because he's an owner of a sports franchise. So he's thinking that they potentially could come back in June with no fans. I'll take it. He also mentioned he thinks basketball, baseball, golf, those are the sports that would come back first, and then sports like hockey and football. Football is a little bit later, so they have time on their side, but hockey's another contact sport that it might take a little bit more time.
Yes, but when it does, it could be in different cities, because the NHL is looking at all options as well, and one of the things they're trying to do is find areas that haven't been hit that hard with COVID-19, and potentially, you, again, just bring your team, your staff, you get them tested. They're looking at New Hampshire, North Dakota, and take the noon balloon to Saskatoon. Andrew, do you like any of these ideas about the NHL playing tournaments in one specific city?
I mean, I like all these Timbuktu, completely random locations, Bob. I mean, it makes for good copy. It makes for good conversation like the one we're trying to have right now. But here's hockey's problem as I see it, okay? How are they going to get, you know, these places that they're going might not have large numbers of positive tests or not hotbed spots. How are you going to get players from Europe back here? There are some that have already gone back home. How are you going to get guys in like the New York City area that are in New York, the Rangers, the Devils, Islanders, people that are there to these places? I mean, that to me is going to be a real struggle when we're talking about the demographics of hockey. The places they're going might not be infected, but they're coming from all over the world, and I think that might be an issue.
Good point.
I like going to a place like North Dakota and just having the playoffs. You know, scrap the regular season at this point. Take all those teams to North Dakota. I mean, I don't know about housing, if it's even a real possibility. And you play every other day. I mean, the first round, you'd have 4 games on a Monday, then 4 games on a Tuesday, and you keep alternating, and you'd have hockey every single day, all day. You could play at 11 in the morning and 1 in the afternoon. You don't have to play at night. And I think
where are they going to stay, Richie? They don't have nice 5-star hotels there in North Dakota, do they? I mean, where are they going to stay? People's houses?
I mean, everyone's bringing up North Dakota. There's got to be something there, right? I mean, Airbnbs or something. I think that's the biggest hurdle, is finding a place to stay for everyone and all these teams if they're going to North Dakota. The other thing with the NHL, they need the gate money. I think that's the biggest issue with the NHL. And when it will come back, I mean, this is a league that relies a lot on ticket sales. And you're not going to have that if you go to North Dakota and not have anyone up there.
Yeah, I just think the television thing is what they want to salvage if they can and get a tournament in however you can do it. You don't need fans. I think we've already seen that, and we're going to see a lot of that until this thing gradually gets back to normal. Who knows when that'll be. Now, ladies and gentlemen, it's time to go around the horn for this week's Smooth Moves, brought to you by Pittsburgh's largest supplier of the smoothest granite, marble, and quartz countertops anywhere. That would be Armina Stone. Rich Walsh, start with you. Your smooth move of the week is?
I'm going to go with Allegheny College. This is the first that I've seen with no spring sports. All spring sports are canceled. They're taking that money. They had some money set aside for spring sports, and they're going to donate it to frontline workers in that area, in the Meadville and surrounding areas. So my smooth move is to Allegheny College.
And mine, I don't usually do this, but I'm actually going to give our radio station a little pop here, some publicity. We've got a radiothon. It's Tuesday. It's called Feed the Need, guys. It's 7 a.m. to 5 p.m., 7 to 5. And we're going to try to raise money to feed 100,000 families here in Western Pennsylvania. You've seen the long lines outside of the arena, down on the North Shore. It's going to all benefit. All the money goes to the Greater Pittsburgh Community Food Bank. They need it. People need our help. And we're going to try to raise that money on Tuesday, guys.
Yeah, that's a great gesture by everyone in Intercom, Andrew, and you can make a big difference out there. The Pittsburgh Food Bank has done an outstanding job helping so many, and it is a big undertaking, but any kind of donation helps, so please consider that. Those are our smooth moves. Armina Stone is Pittsburgh's largest supplier of the smoothest granite, marble, and quartz countertops you're going to find anywhere. Check them out. Armina Stone. NFL, Kevin Colbert making news next.